channel. I am Ashley Marshall, an oracle card reader and astrologer, and I'm here today to do a pick-a-pile reading for anxiety. I'm feeling pretty anxious today, not feeling great. Was going to sit down and do a reading for myself, and then I just heard that I should share it. So let's start with a couple deep breaths, just meeting you wherever you are. As I get these cards shuffled, just bringing us into a space of a little bit more calm. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling teary-eyed, if you're feeling jealous, if you're feeling rejected, if you're feeling frustrated, angry, stuck, not good, grief-stricken, betrayed, lost, this reading is for you. There is no specific time for this reading. Whenever you find it, whenever it comes to you, it was meant to be. Bringing in some fresh energy into the cards. Taking more deep breaths as you need. I'm also feeling like shaking, right? We want to release as much as we can, at least energetically, this stuck, sad, grief-stricken, betrayed, whatever kind of energy it is. If you need to stand and shake it off, okay? Also feeling like just pulling the residue off me, right? Other people's stuff. Ugh. Cutting the cords to any energy or any things that you were bringing in before. Look at those light codes, love it. I've been having lots of light code energy. Been isolating myself a lot during this time and not letting light come in. So today I opened the blinds and James was so happy about it, huh, James? He's over there in another patch of sun. Bringing his calm, peaceful energy to the reading, which I appreciate. Do we have all the cards we want? I'm hearing yes. Got the self-care cards, and whatever self-care cards I get from the pile I pick, I am doing. More breaths as you need. Pile 1 is going to be this beautiful turquoise stone, no names, no characteristics, because I'm not in the space for that right now. And then the second one, it just changed its mind, wow, is going to be this white stone. Okay. Breathing through this reading. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 1, pile 2. Shaking everything off. And you don't have to feel good to show up, right? You don't have to feel good. Now, if it's too hard to show up, then don't. Normally, I don't do readings, but, so more public readings when I'm not feeling great. But this really felt like it needed to be shared, and it also kind of just shows me that I can still show up, and that these are just, these cards are going to be shuffled again, energies and feelings and emotions that are temporary, and sometimes we're stuck in them a lot longer than other times, so not to say that. Okay, pile 1. So we're gonna get into like what's causing the anxiety or funk or whatever it is that you're in. What can you do about it? The moon, your unconscious, sensitive inner emotions and responses. So pile 1 is being ruled this discord, that's not the word I wanted. Whatever you're going through that feels bad and feels negative right now, is, an emotional issue. I mean, easy to say that, but the moon represents our varying emotions. The moon changes signs quite often, and so it's an example of us how our emotions can go up and down. I'm feeling like, not getting pile 1, the reason why I chose this pile too, I might choose both, and you can too, that we're not feeling good is we're not nourishing ourselves, we're not getting what we need. There's something going on with our eating, our digestion, definitely me. When I'm not feeling well, when I'm anxious especially, I have a hard time eating. I feel like sleep is a little bit disrupted too, with this moon card energy coming through. And then I also am getting the message, and with, the card being the moon, that this is like the way that you learn to digest life, to cope with life, is similar to the way that your mother did. And so if she didn't have great coping skills, or the mother figure, then you may not feel like you have great coping skills. It doesn't mean that you can't practice and gain them and gather them, right? But it just feels like, very undernourished, undermothered, right? There's no one caring for you. There's a lack of care and nourishment that feels like is going on. And the moon is all about like emotional crisis. When the moon has challenging aspects to it, especially to something like Neptune, can be depression, okay? So first house we also got for pile 1. So this is affecting your thoughts about yourself, okay? How you see yourself. It's affecting how others see you. Not that you should totally be worried about that, but I feel like other people are noticing. It's a noticeable change, but because, you don't know what's going on, you don't know how to explain it. There might be like a change to your looks due to what you're going through, like it's affecting your health. I know the 6th house is usually health, and that's usually like health struggles, and then the first house is usually, it's the body, right? Mars rules over the body. So this state is really having effect on the nervous system, on the body, even though nervous system is, I think, more like Gemini, but that's what I'm hearing. So, and I'm definitely feeling that. It's affecting your thoughts about yourself. Maybe you're feeling negative about your appearance, and that is affecting you as well. I'm gonna look in the book for this one because I'm so out of it that I need a little help with this. Oh yeah, okay, so Lilith is all about like, I'm not even gonna go, I don't know why I read that. So this is coming up in this reading specifically for this group. It's like, I think the reason that we're going through the sad, bad anxiety, not bad feelings because they're not bad, but we've been programmed to believe they're bad, right? That we're struggling is because we're trying to fit ourselves into a box that we don't fit. Just called myself out. I need a moment. We're trying to do, live, be, exist somewhere that is just not our soul's home, is what I'm getting with this, which isn't usually like really at all. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Lilith, one of the symbols of Lilith is owls. If you've been seeing a lot of owls, this is a validation of that, okay? And you don't have to see actual owls, but I'm also hearing like lots of animals and bugs maybe visiting you, rodents, like to validate this, you know, that you're not where you belong. I mean, I hate to say that because it's like we're all where we're meant to be in this moment in time for a reason. There's a lesson to be learned, but I think the lesson that's being learned and the discomfort and this anxiety and depression and whatever you're feeling is like, yeah, because you know it's not your soul's home. The message that also is coming through is that you can still be happy though. Like you can still in this temporary space. But yeah, there's just, like I'm feeling like my body feels just, I keep seeing this, like uncomfortable, restricted, right? We also got 8 of Water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. So really tapping into your spirituality, your spiritual home, like who you go to, but I'm also hearing like some of you don't know what that is, okay? So researching it, finding it, and it doesn't have to be like this research that's like, you know, feels boring if you're not into that, but like discovering how you can feed yourself spiritually, right? We want to nourish ourselves physically. We want to, you know, check into what is going on with that digestion. And usually it's, yeah, these like emotions and feelings that are upsetting the digestion. So it's like nourishing ourselves. And water is all about feelings. So it's like, yeah, this group feels really stuck in their feelings, and yeah, like you want to leave a situation you're in because you know it's not your soul's home and you're trying to get to your soul's home. But I'm hearing like spirit, ancestors say this is part of how you get there, and it's maybe, you know, it's uncomfortable for you, right? But this is part of how you get there, and this is not the end of there, and you will get there to where you want to go, okay? I'm just remembering now too, I think Lilith was supposed to marry Adam, like in, you know, mythology, but Adam realized that Lilith was a human and wasn't just going to be subservient. So it's also like, who are you doing this for? Who are you stuck for is what I'm getting with this and hearing. Like, you're trying to fit yourself into into a, you know, square, into a circle, star into a triangle, for partly for somebody else, right? Or to make somebody else happy, or because you think it's making somebody else happy. But there's also this huge desire to not be here, and that could be like a physical, it could be emotionally, right? It doesn't have to be like you want to physically leave, right? But you want to move on from the space that you're in and you're feeling stuck, okay? But I'm hearing like there is a lot of emotional and spiritual growth ahead, and, excuse me, like you're gonna move out of this, you will be out of this, that's annoying to hear, but yeah, there's something that just feels really like this group is being called to, you know, spiritual rituals, tapping into their spirituality in some way, you know, having some sort of spiritual retreat, whether that's like an actual one or retreat for yourself. Yeah. Okay, we also got Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. Okay, so you might also be seeing lots of deer. I know I am. Okay. And they are really a reminder. Deer are a reminder. You know, deer are always moving on when they need to the next house to, you know, eat their trees, to the next farm when the farmer finds them and kicks them out. they're hyper vigilant. Okay, you could be across the street walking in the other direction, but if they see you or hear you, they're, deer in the headlights and they stare. And so it feels like, yeah, this group is hyper vigilant. Be gentle with yourself. Nourish yourself, mother yourself, take care of yourself, and know when it's time to move on. Deer know when it's time to move on. They're not afraid to keep it moving, keep it going, to keep themselves alive, right? So doing whatever you need to do to get back to your soul's home is okay, right? Even if it's not what's best for, maybe this person that you were doing this for. Okay, ancestor cards. Does that make sense? Let me know. Comment below if it makes sense. Okay. Oh, and that's funny. Owls. On these cards, we said we were going to see owls. And then the owl specifically is a reminder of not trying to fit in a box that you don't fit in because of somebody else, right? And Lilith is really specifically like about a man, right? Or about a partner, holding them back, wanting them to be something that they don't want to be, right? So it could be that too. All right, we got Hunter, track down your fears and desires. Wow. Yeah, so really like doing what feels good in whatever way feels good, but getting to the root of this anxiety, right? To figure out what is going on, what you fear that's bringing you anxiety, okay? Is it a fear of saying, I'm not happy here, I'm not happy doing this, I want to move on, move forward? Like, where is the fear, okay? Getting quiet, and utilizing maybe, therapeutic resources to determine some of these things and what that is, right? And also, like, tracking down your fears. And I'm feeling like this group is like, I know what I don't want. I'm having trouble tracking down what I do want, or what I do want changes, okay? But I'm hearing like talking this out with somebody who has a different perspective that can help you get to the core and stay focused on the core of what it is that you desire, right? Moving more towards that. It really feels like that's another problem too, is that you think you don't desire anything as much as other people to, work toward and go for, or to shift out of this place from. And you do, okay? But there's lots of, you change your mind a lot. There's lots of new incoming things. It doesn't mean that you've left the old behind, and sometimes it's hard to keep up with yourself. Okay, we got Sekhmet. Be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Yes. Okay, and I'm feeling like this pile's very, this group of people feels very resilient, okay? I'm also feeling like there's some energy like, we are strong and we don't always want to have to be. Like, it would be nice to not be strong. It would nice to be able just to relax into life and not to have to constantly fight for things, work for things, that kind of energy. But with this, I'm hearing like, with this anxiety, sadness, anxiety, whatever it is that's coming up, it's like you lose your ability to feel strong. We want to utilize that Leo confidence and strength, good side of Leo. Might be some Leos in the group. Also look to where Leo is in your chart, I think, for like inspiration on how to bring yourself back to that confidence. Like, Leo rules over my 5th house, so I can get involved in play, sports, creative things, right? Romance, sex maybe, dating, right? To kind of ignite that spark in myself. That's just what I hear coming through. We also got bare boundaries, stand your ground. So yeah, it really does feel like there's another person, there's another group of people, there's another energy involved. I meant to do the numerology cards first. Oh well, we'll do them now. There's another energy involved that's kind of like disagreeing with who you want to be. Not disagreeing, I guess they just don't get it. They're not there consciously yet to understand that we're all so different. I really do believe that people who get into self-assessment programs and tests and astrology and human design and all these things, and they just get it because it's really laid out in a map for us. Like, you look at one person's birth chart compared to the next and see how different it is. That is like the hugest, example that we're not meant to be all fit in one box. And I think it's our truest, deepest pains as humans, and this is coming through right now too, because it's certainly for this group, like it's their deepest pain, struggle, and dissatisfaction, probably lots of generators in this group, to go against like your natural rhythm and flow. Okay, we're all, and I'm hearing we're coming to a completion cycle with this. Number 9, like this group is wrapping up that, and the time is coming when we're no longer going to be able to do this, right? And so that's why we're having the mental health issues, maybe physical issues, digestive issues. It's like, we know we can't be here, and it may be a physical here, an emotional here, a relationship here, job here, family crisis here. We cannot be here anymore. This cycle is complete. We are done. I'm hearing to pull another card. So it feels really uncomfortable, and there's like, we got 2, that's fine. That's not why I made the face. I'm hearing, and I don't like saying this for me, but like, we have to go be in it to go through it. And we don't want to ignore this like we have in the past, because we know it's going to bubble up later. We also got 63, parenting, and 5, change. Okay, I'm hearing that for some in the group, well, the first thing that was coming through, that came through with parenting, is parenting ourselves, mothering ourselves, nurturing ourselves, taking care of ourselves, whether or not our parents are still around. It's all something that we have to do at some point and learn to do. And this group feels lacking in that. It feels like, and I wrote this in my journal earlier, but I'm being encouraged to say it, so maybe people in this group resonate. Like, when I feel like this, I can't take care of myself. I don't want to. And that's a scary thing, right? That's depression talking. I don't want to feed myself. It feels like a lot to do. I just had a PB&J because I just couldn't do it, right? And haven't really been able to do it. So really this, and these are new cards, so I do want to look in the book for this, but really this 63 parenting, the first thing, that's coming through is that, this group really needs to parent themselves. And we may have never gotten that parenting, so it's really hard, but, learning about ourselves, learning about our nervous systems, learning about our needs, simply looking, if you don't want to dive into too much, but maybe just a little, looking at your moon placement, like moon in Gemini. For me, I need communication. That's probably why it makes me feel better to do these readings, right? I need knowledge. I need to learn something, teach something that kind of nourishes me and helps me to feel better. And also to talk to other people about it, right? Talk therapy is really great for me too. And I'm going to read this too because I felt called to, and I think it also has to do with actual parenting of other people too. And I think that the people who chose this group too are like, there's something there's some sadness around parenting children too. Like maybe you've been wanting to, you can't, right, have your own children. You're struggling with parenting your own, raising your own. And I'm also feeling like some godparent energy in here too. But there's some like struggle around this. So let me read this. This card indicates that you have a natural gift for parenting and working with children. Perhaps you have a child or children of your own, or maybe there are children within your extended family or circle of friends. Yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling too. Maybe you play the parental role within your relationships with others who tend to behave like children. I'm hearing like a big yes that some in this group are going to resonate with that. Whatever the case may be, your ability to teach, nurture, and guide the next generation raises the vibration of the world. Okay, so in order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust and harmonize with the natural cycle and rhythm of life. And this cycle is encouraging you to spend time with children, or I'm also hearing healing the inner child, right? Lots of self-parenting, healing inner child. Remember, we talked about this pile being at a time of completion. 5 is all about big change coming. So I'm hearing that it's probably really different for the people in this group, but quelling some of this might be about spending time with the children in your life, your children, spending time with the inner child, getting in touch and being, artistic and creative with the inner child, and letting the inner child do art or play or whatever it is. Yeah. Or it could be both, right? And then again, just that real need to parent yourself, to nourish yourself. If all you can do is one task a day, like take a shower, right? Or go grocery shopping, right? And maybe you're like, oh, that's too much. Drink a glass of water, right? One thing a day to move you forward, okay? We also got ingenuity, inventor, so we might have to get really creative with what it is that we're doing, and we're going to get into some self-care cards next. We might have to get creative, and it might not exist what it is that we want to feel better where we are or just at all. So we might have to invent it ourselves. This period might see a lot of us inventing, like rising from this time, right? Coming to the end, to this completion and going through this change and come out of it with like, I'm hearing like a whole new way of being, but also something to help other people, which is hard to see when we're in the midst of it, right? And that's not what it's about when we're in the midst of it. It's not easy to help other people when we are feeling dark. Okay, we also got octopus. It really feels like 2 cards. And what I'm initially seeing and hearing and feeling with this is that this group has a lot of different moving parts and things going on, and you're not enjoying all of it. Like, there's too many balls in the air, there's too many things going on, and you feel overwhelmed. That feels like the dark side of the octopus in this reading. The light side of the octopus is that you're very helpful. You're able to do all of these different things and have all of these different aspects of life going on, but you need to remember to nourish yourself, to keep one of those tentacles for yourself, right? They're all doing a bunch of things for other people. Where can you, again, nourish yourself and take care of yourself? I'm also getting like lots of, this group might be experiencing headaches, and there's just something about like, I don't know what it is, but warming the head that might feel good. I don't know why that. Maybe using like a red light on the face or the head, or I'm hearing like a sauna for your head, but that doesn't really exist. Why wouldn't you just go into a whole sauna? Facial massage. There's just something about the head that wants to, come forward with the octopus. But yeah, so using this helpful energy that you have, that you're always giving to others, to help yourself, is a big thing that I'm hearing with the octopus. Okay, so taking a step back from the role of helpful person, from, to pay into yourself. We also got be still. Love these light codes. Be still. Okay. I'm hearing, and it's one of my lines in human design, so it's really interesting that came up. That stillness brings clarity, and you'll be able to find clarity once you are still. So whatever helps you to be still, maybe that's a float tank, maybe that's a sauna, maybe that's taking a shower, maybe it's laying down in the snow in nature, right? Maybe it's meditating, maybe it's when you're in the car and someone else is driving, maybe it's sound healing, but doing something that brings about stillness. We also got connect with your womb. Okay, so maybe even a laying down and placing your hands over your womb and sending loving, positive, bright, beautiful, cleansing, golden energy to your womb. Okay, breathing deeply into the womb. All right, or you could write a letter to your womb. Whatever feels good, and that feels complete. But yeah, we're feeling uncomfortable because big changes coming our way. We have the desire to move on. However we handle this moving on, if it is we need to tell someone that we're leaving or whatever it may be, being gentle with them, gentle with ourselves, standing your ground, right? You know what's right for you. This is a parenting move to recognize this, to have awareness around wanting to leave. All right, I'm being told to look in the book for the octopus because there's something else that wants to be said. And I don't think I read the octopus at all the way that it normally, in the book is, and that's totally fine. Boundaries, okay, yeah, so that's so funny because, right? So we may also be feeling this high anxiety and this stress and everything that we're going through because we're really lacking boundaries with other people. And we're moving in too many different directions when the direction that we need to focus on is ourself. Okay? And that's so funny. Wow. So it says, when in balance, interested, engaged, intelligent. When out of balance, needy, clingy, lacks courage to bring into balance, space to oneself, talk therapy. That's so funny because I said talk therapy. So I can't, that's how much this resonates for me. I am currently in between therapists, and I was just about to say, get a therapist, which I don't like to say to you. That was more of a message to me. I don't like to tell people what to do, but if you've been feeling called or you need a new one or you've been meaning to go back, this is a huge call for you to do it. Okay, pile 1. Goodness. Okay, pile 2. White stone. What is causing your anxiety? What can you do? What's going on with you, pile 2? What's going on? And if you picked pile 1 and pile 2, then we're just getting more information, more validation, more help, more guidance. Whoa. Sometimes these are hard to shuffle because they're a little bigger. So we do them from the side like that. Wow. Okay, only that one. Saturn. Okay, the part of you that accepts challenge to gain wisdom, which is a great way to interpret it, but Saturn is all about hard lessons, okay, restriction, feeling limited, moving forward, and then Saturn going, well, wait, have you done your due diligence? Have you checked, right? It's about working hard. So I feel like the people in this pile feel like they've been working hard, sloughing along, and or they feel really restricted and limited in their current space and reality, and they want to expand from it, move on from it. Similar to pile 1, but I'm feeling more like anger in this group, whereas the other group might have been more like emotional and sadness. I mean, anger is an emotion, but just frustration and stuckness in this group. Okay, now we are going through this period, or the people in this pile are going through this period, I'm hearing, because yes, they need to learn from it. Ugh, hate that. Okay, they're telling me to go to these next. Sometimes I don't like what I say. Yeah, because it's not easy, but there's something precious for the next phase of life that is coming through. We got 2. We got Black Panther, passion, follow your passion, Coyote, wise fool, accept your follies and find teaching in them. Okay, so the Coyote is kind of really going with Saturn, like, accept your disappointments, accept what has not turned out well, and learn from it in order moving forward. Okay, and I feel like this is in the direction or in the way of our life passion. And it feels like your dreams, your passions, like the progression of your passion and dreams has gone slow, okay? If you have like Saturn in the 10th or 10th in Capricorn, like I do, sometimes it means that you're the later in life. Wherever Saturn is in your chart, it's like we get the lessons later. We learn these lessons now to help us later. Like, it's a struggle wherever it is. It can be, right? Harsh lessons. But we're more evolved in that area of life later. Maybe, mine's in the 8th house, Saturn, so it's like I learned about death maybe earlier than some people, right? And grief and grieving and letting go. And hopefully it means that, that I'll be able to handle, the inevitable death of more people later in life, because I've had that experience. Okay, that's just one example, but it feels like this pile has been waiting for their passions, for their dream, as far as career, money, finances. And it doesn't have to be that, because your dream and your passion could be to be a mom, to be a parent, right? Something that doesn't necessarily involve money, right? Or you receiving money. So I want that to be clear, and they're making that very clear, okay? So it feels like it's been kind of, like a waiting game. Austera, fertility, it is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. Interesting that I said, like, being a parent and fertility. So I think group 1 had this too. Because we got the parenting card. So this card, I feel like the message that I'm getting, I just hit my head on the back of the chair, is that, like, things are still possible. It's still possible for you to birth things. You're right on track is what I'm hearing. You're where you're meant to be. Nobody wants to hear that. But this time for you is about balance and regulation. You're feeling so dysregulated and out of balance. Would you be able to handle your big dreams if they came to you now? Or would it be too much because you're not regulated? This time for you is a time of regulation. It's a time of getting things in structure and in order to take on the bigger stuff. If you're folding at the follies now, if you're folding at the problems now, then the problems that come with the things that are good are just going to bring you down even more. Maybe not more. But do you know what I mean? Like, this is the part where you're supposed to be a little bit more quiet, pull a little bit more back, gain that structure. It almost feels like retrograde. Gain, get all your ducks in a row, review everything, reassess, recommit, add structure, add a plan, okay? Things are still possible, and it's the perfect time for you to put these ideas, put the seed in place. Maybe it is the perfect time for you to start having kids, or to try having kids, or to begin that creative project. But what I'm hearing is the frustration, and there is some sadness too in this group, that everything that's going on is because you believe that you're not fertile. You believe that you're not able to do these things. But no matter what, there can always be a reframe to your goal. So maybe, like, okay, say you have a baby book idea that you wanted and they didn't, no publisher accepted it. Well, you can rewrite it. You can publish it yourself. You can, all of these things. Does that make sense? Yeah, and the thing that's coming through with the Saturn card too is it might not have happened the way you wanted it to. All of this. And it's not about that. Like, you can still have what you wanted, but in a different way, through different means, right? You thought it was gonna be, you go from here to get there, but it's gonna be more like this, they're saying. And that causes frustration, and it takes longer, and whatever, but it's still happening, it's still possible. I'm also hearing, like, big spring vibes for this group. Like, not that it can't happen before spring. We're still in fall and we're moving into winter, but I feel like big things are coming for this group in spring. And yes, that's what we're preparing for. That's what you need the structure and the order for. Because you don't want to be structureless. Now, if you're listening to this and you're like, what is that thing in human design where we don't like routine and structure? Like, if you're someone who does not thrive on that, then that's fine. You don't need it like every day, but you still need some Saturn energy, like, to be able to handle what's to come, the business, your passion coming to life. I don't know why I said your dreams, the thing that you always kept in your head, becoming a reality is what I'm hearing. We also got new moon, okay? So new beginnings, fresh starts. It's the perfect time. Okay? Take your time, though. You can go slow putting them in motion, okay? Because Saturn is about going slow, taking your time, maybe being a little bit meticulous about what you're doing instead of, Aries or Mars just goes, right? Not Saturn. We got Saturn, okay? So new beginnings, fresh starts, starting something new, and that can cause, I'm also so feeling anxiety from this group too. Maybe you know something new is coming, a fresh start or beginning. Maybe you've already seen what it is and you're having a hard time making space for it. You're also feeling like imposter syndrome, I feel like, in this group. Okay, 7th house, so new business partnerships, I feel like. And also some of the cause of whatever this pile is going through, whatever you're feeling, this anger, this stress, this little bit of sadness, anxiety, it's surrounding new business partnerships, new business that you're getting. Like, okay, some of you are getting that new business, and then some of you are having trouble balancing business and your personal relationships, your one-on-one relationships, your romantic partnerships, your marriage, your husband, your wife. Okay, so it could be them that's adding to your anxiety, right? So putting in some structure around work-life balance is what I'm hearing. That doesn't feel like a huge one, but it feels like somebody resonates with that. Oh, these cards. Thought I'd work with them enough. I guess not. Let's get another animal card, even though we did get 2. Breathing through this reading. Okay, what do we need to know, pile 2? Lion spirit, be generous of spirit. Be generous of spirit. I don't really know what that means. Well, I'm not really feeling that message a lot. I mean, yes, be generous, okay? But really what's coming through more to me, and it is with the coyote too, is just this like steadiness, this patience, right? Saturn likes to take their time, and this is about patience, and this is a period of time where you may really have to resource lots of patience, because it's not like, I'm not limiting this group to the fact that maybe that their dreams and passions can't come true and be fulfilled sooner, but just not hating on Saturn so much, not hating on the process is what I'm hearing, right? And being patient with yourself, and it's going to require patience, and you're missing so much, I'm hearing, because there's joy to be had in this process too, and to always be wishing that you were one step ahead of you are means you're missing out. Okay, we got 5 of Fire, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. Yeah, so I do feel like there is some conflict in some personal relationships, and like not really sure how to move forward. It is kind of holding you back, making you feel frustrated and stuck. Okay. We also got the World, Archangel Michael, a job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. Okay, so I'm hearing with, really seeking balance, whatever way you can bring that in. And I'm hearing like it seems like it's gonna require a conversation. Now, if this is like an abusive situation that's really traumatic, and this reading is not for those. Those situations are emergency situations and definitely different. And I don't want to pretend that any of this is for that. But if it's for non-abusive situations in relationship, there's calls for a conversation to be had, and it may not be comfortable, and you may be not wanting to have it. 7-7, 7th house. Okay, this says spirituality, but I'm really feeling, and it may be helpful to have, to do a spiritual practice to kind of realign you, rebalance you. But what I'm seeing this is balance. You're really being called on for balance. We also have another 7 in the 37. I just feel like 7's coming through a lot, and what this means in this reading I'm hearing is that you're really being called to add more balance to your life, all areas of your life. Like, instead of just paying so much into yourself and never your relationships, or always your relationships and never yourself, right? You're really being called upon to, they're saying another angel number, to bring balance into your life, and to have conversations, and to put in structure, right? Things into, being structures into place that allow you more balance. That's what I'm hearing. Well, you also got 27, spiritual partnership. Okay, so the spirituality must mean something. And they're saying, oh, it didn't then, but now it does. And look at the light codes. Okay, so feels like, and then another 7, 27. We got 27, 37 on one, 77. Trying to really feel into what this means. And you also got spirit. Yeah, this group's really being called to connect with spirit, to connect with your guides, and to adopt a spiritual practice that feels very nourishing, is what I'm hearing. Like, I feel like this group would really benefit from a spiritual practice, would benefit from tapping into their spirituality, returning to a spiritual practice, speaking with God, connecting with angels, universe. 7s might be showing up a lot. Look that up too, just to get some like different meanings. Here I'm really seeing that it's call for balance. And one of the things that would help you to balance is to go on like a solo adventure, explore on your own, or if that's not what's in balance for you, explore with somebody else, go on an adventure with somebody else. So I'm hearing that the group may be split, which makes sense, right? Some of us do spend more time alone or spend more time with other people. So you're being called to balance that. One of the ways that you can balance your relationships with your time by yourself and your time by yourself with your relationships is to explore, adventure, you know, even if that's just going for like a 20-minute hike on your own one day. It doesn't have to be like you going across the country. It can be if that's what you want. And it just feels like part of your passion is an adventurous spirit and about being near water. And I also feel like the weather really affected these people and they want to be back in their shorts and tank in sunshine. You also got autumn, release the old and rest. Okay. Okay, so yeah, balancing adventure with rest is another call, right? You're either not getting enough rest or not getting enough adventure. And that's kind of the cause of this. Wow, Earth Mother, feel loved and comforted. And look at that pregnant Earth belly. Okay, so yeah, resting, nourishing yourself. And it really taps back into that idea of like bringing, I'm also hearing very similar to the first group, like bringing that mothering energy back to yourself, mothering yourself. And it feels like this is the place that this pile is coming to, right? Maybe you're not feeling loved and comforted in your partnership and in your connection, and that's something that needs to be communicated as well. That's causing this discomfort. How can you feel more loved, comforted, and connected? And there's just this very fertile energy, right? Something wants to come forth. Something wants to be birthed. Something wants to come through this group. And it may really, happen in the springtime, revolve around springtime. Feeling lots of spring energy. Oh, we didn't do one of these. Okay. Peacock, okay? So the peacock is very, gosh, this feels like another card too. Very regal energy, okay? And this is really feeling like a balanced card too right now, because it's like the male peacock is always dressing up and, you know, trying to catch a mate. And it's like, where is this energy imbalanced? Where are you not putting enough into getting a mate or in your relationship? Or where are you putting too much, right? Maybe you're exhausting yourself. Maybe you're peacocking all the time, right? Trying to get them to pay attention to you, see you, love you, to feel loved and comforted, right? Interesting. Similar colors going on there too. So again, I'm hearing that it's either or maybe it's both, but you know, it's about bringing this back into balance. Okay. We want to do a little peacocking, right? We want to impress our mate. We want to try to get them interested in us. Okay. But if this is off balance, it can be causing these feelings, this discomfort, this frustration, this anxiety, okay? So really pulling this back into balance. They're telling me to look in the book too for the peacock. Okay. So when in balance, confident and kind. When out of balance, can't digest situations. That's so interesting. We were talking about it in the other group, and I picked both. So to bring into balance, meditation on navel. Meditation. I'm still going with what I said before because that felt really strong coming through. You know, bringing that balance into how much you're putting into a relationship and taking from a relationship. Reviewing, reassessing your peacocking, whether it's heavy on or heavy off. I feel like this pile got into a lot of different things. We were talking about passion, career dreams, life dreams, pregnancy, new beginnings, fertility, starting something new, right? Exploring, balancing, exploring with resting, balancing, giving into a relationship and taking from, okay? Adding a spiritual practice. It also feels like this is a spiritual partnership that you're in or the one that is upcoming. Let's actually look in the book for that. This card indicates a time when a significant spiritual relationship is about to be forged. Perhaps it comes in the form of a friendship. It also can be like a spiritual teacher that you're going to be working with that's going to bring fresh new beginnings and starts and shift into your life. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited for both the piles. You know, I started this reading really feeling, as I said, low and kind of depressed. We got to get through the self-care cards. And now I'm feeling like excited and motivated. I hope you are too. Okay, self-care for pile 2. Ooh, massage. I just got a massage. Move those toxins through your body. Try to make that like a monthly thing if you can, whenever you can. Ooh, this pile got 3. Clear your energy field, okay? Cutting the cords, right? Also bringing balance, doing a balancing practice or something, you know, like energetic balance on both sides. Saging your space, clearing your energy, lots of this it feels like this pile's got a lot of gunk on them, okay? Burning bowl ritual. What do we want to let go? What do we want to say goodbye to? Never again, not welcome, gone forever. So you might really feel called to do that. I hope you're feeling better. That's all for pile 2. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And if your comment is, I'm feeling low too, then I'm here with you. I'm doing better after this reading. Gonna do some of these self-care things. Got the massage. Not sure what's next. Anyway, have a great day. Love you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.